I just have to. All right. Oh, it's Lee and Cherry time. Hello, everyone.
It's funny how your how the light.
Oh, on my ring. Yeah.
It's great.
But I really can't see. So, oh, hi, Miss Mary World.
Hi.
So, yep. And we
it's
have
so behind, isn't it?
Yeah, it is on here, but on
Really lags behind.
this part here, it's not.
Okay.
But I wanted to be able to see the chat, so maybe we'll keep it like. Let's see. How can I do this? This and that, so that way we can see the live chat. How's that? That work? That way we're real time.
Okay.
All right. So, ooh, yes. Oh, we're so happy to see you guys. Look here. Look who it is.
I made it. Literally.
Oh, well, thank you. We feel good. So if we look good, we feel good.
Yeah, we feel good. I feel good.
Feel younger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
By like 50 years.
Yeah. So you're 2 years old?
Mm-hmm. No, I'm not going on 6 months, really.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we're so happy to catch you guys up real time. Hey, Clinton, how you doing?
Clinton.
Yes. We both decided we were gonna come on here. We weren't gonna. I was like, oh, am I gonna do a soul chat? And she's like, I'll go on with you. And I was like, oh, will you? She said, yeah. I was all excited.
What else was I gonna do?
Uh,
What I do.
Yeah. I mean, well, you do a lot. Catch them up. How have you been? How have you been since you're almost 127 days?
Something like that. Yeah. Just a little over 5 months. So I'm going into my 6th month of recovery. The transplant was super successful. I've only had some minor things happen. Couple little surgeries, which absolutely nothing compared to the double transplant it seemed like I got. I had 2 surgeries in one night. And I'm feeling great. I'm feeling 100% better on the outside. On the inside, I'm a little sore still, and sometimes I overdo it, but hey, I'm getting it back.
I like it when you overdo
it. Are we still doing a family
show?
It's not a family show anymore. I'm living life to the fullest, seeing as much live music as I possibly can, and working on my pilot's license, and will be, after a couple months, incorporating myself back into this and talking to you guys more and more and more. Still have a couple months of things to do and to get caught up on in recovery and appointments and things, and then I'll be back. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. So I'm going to catch you at least once or twice, all of you. Yeah, it's going to be an awesome summer, and I'm going to live it to the fullest. I'm going to drag this guy around with me, and you'll be seeing pictures of us out and about and doing things, because we're not going to sit here and sit here all summer. We're not going to do it.
For the most part. So we did have some questions, which I did see posted. So I told her, so we got questions already. So we're going to pull over to those. You guys in the live chat, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, welcome. This channel is all about connection. I think you've actually even said to me, I've really dug deep into connection. And I'm really finding connection is our greatest teacher, next to pain. And pain and connection are great teachers. But, as you can see, it keeps us together. So there's something to that. But I noticed that
you've seen the videos,
yeah, that's the family
show. If you haven't, go on our channel, this channel that you're on, and go to our journey in the playlist,
Mhm.
and it will take you back to when we met. We jump around and
Actually, I think we have some questions regarding. the
oh
way we
yeah,
met. Yeah.
and all kinds of and anyway, it just will take you through our journey, video at a time. I think there's what, 26 or 27
27.
of our journey videos,
Mhm.
and we need to post another one anyway.
Yeah, we need to
Um,
do another update one. They like
So
those.
yeah, go on there and watch it, and it's kind of like a Netflix series, I guess, where you keep pressing next episode.
I think it goes through.
Does it?
Yeah, if you click on the playlist, it just plays through.
And
I think some stuff pops up, but
people
I
are
think
saying, how did you look? We lived it.
Wow.
we lived it. It
All
happened.
right. So we have a question from Christine.
Christine.
She said, thank you. From the DM perspective, what was your process to waking up to the TF connection? How did you come to know? What happened in your mind and heart? What happened for you to let go of the prior belief systems and to create the shift from understanding who Sherry really is to you? Thank you. So I'll go from the masculine perspective. I don't believe
she asked
in.
for.
Yeah, she asked for the divine masculine perspective.
Yeah.
It'd be easier to tell her from the masculine perspective because at that point I was more ego.
Yeah.
I was more thought driven. And I really wasn't about letting things into my heart. Things that were in my heart, I knew that I wasn't good enough for. And coming into this connection, I think what scared me the most, I just remember her being able to look into me and me knowing I didn't like what she would see in me if she looked that deep. So it really it caused a whole bunch of chaos. Like if you watch our journey, a lot of the things that I was feeling, I felt like, first of all, she's probably sitting there with a voodoo doll, or she's probably like stirring, she's making that witch's brew. And I must have had a sip of it when I had over her house when I had a drink. And I was sitting there trying to think of all the things that when I would go over there, I would try not to taste anything or drink anything, but I believe what she ended up doing was putting something on her lips because I was all over them. I was kissing all over the lips. And when I was kissing all over them lips, something kept magnetizing me. And I was like okay.
Herpes?
Not like herpes.
Oh, okay.
It was something in.
It's magic.
Yeah, but if you didn't know what magic was, and you felt something and you were like, and I think for my masculine at that point, I wasn't used to feeling things unless I was in control of what I was feeling. With her, I wasn't in control of what I was feeling. You know what I mean? It was like the kiss would take it, and I was like, stop kissing her. And I couldn't stop.
And then I was
like, don't stop kissing her. Then I couldn't.
Perspective.
Yeah.
The head thing.
Yeah.
The head thing where I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not good enough, or what is this? I'm not going to let my guard down.
Was it loud? It was louder when we weren't together.
Yeah.
But when we were together, it was so quiet. It was almost like I kept finding the ability to be present with you. But as soon as I left you, I lost all ability to be present. It was like my mind was on full on, what did you do? You shut me off. You got to be careful. This one's going to really hurt you. I was listening to all that and I was like, okay, yeah, that was a fluke. And then when I came back and did it again, I'm like, okay, that was a fluke. It did it again. And I'm like, no, it's something in the cocktail. It's something in the kiss. But the more I thought about the kiss, the more I felt the kiss, the more I couldn't think. I hope that makes sense.
Is that why you quit taking drinks at my house? Like I would offer you something to drink a lot, and you're like, no, I'm good.
Drink at your house. I was like, man, she's putting something in my drink. She tried to slip me a Mickey. I didn't even know what a Mickey was, but I'm telling you, whatever the hell was in those drinks, it was doing something to me.
It was in the drink.
That's a video. Twin flames, it was in the drink. But what happened in your mind and heart? My heart though was really full. I think that's what really bothered me is every time we would come together and then we would go
It
apart.
felt good.
It felt
It
like
didn't
I would
feel
float.
bad.
I would float for the rest of
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah.
But then the next day I'd wake up like, where did it go?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And like a drug, like I need to get another hit of that, or I need to get, which was interesting because as most of you know, there was no hitting that happening, which was frustrating the crap out of me. So
And I never got that. I always
yeah,
thought
I was getting frustrated.
but I thought you were on that high with me. Do you know what I mean? I thought you felt like
I
we had.
was, but I have an addictive personality, so I wanted more and more and more. And I knew if that would happen, that the depth would be
Felt.
yeah. And when it did happen, the depth that was felt was overwhelmingly scary.
It was like that. I think what if I look at, as much as we talked about, we became completely vulnerable and we were like, oh no, no.
Yeah.
We
both shut that down. Shut that down before he could leave the place. I mean, literally.
If you look back though, we learned very quickly how to abandon our vulnerability in connection.
Right.
And that's why we had to go the trajectory we did.
Right.
Because when you actually come into this connection, the last thing you want to do is tell them what you think.
Right.
And especially if you feel the connection and then you find out that this is this kind of connection, you really you don't even see yourself rejecting them for being that to you.
Right.
But you think, oh, no, I'm going to put on this mask. And you don't think the other person knows that you're wearing a mask and they're looking at you like you're wearing a mask. And I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go be with this person because you keep wearing a mask. You're not letting me love the real you. And it becomes really painful. I mean, if you didn't watch our journey, now would be a good time to go back and rewatch it so you can see that that's exactly what happened. We literally kept putting these masks on for the other person saying, well, I know that I got to be this for you, or I can't be what you need me to be, or you're not going to accept me. Right. Ultimately, that's what we were saying. Right. So I would say a lot of that happened to me. So hopefully that answered your question there, Kristen. Appreciate the question. And it looks like we have another one from Bim. I was watching your.
Hang on. I want to finish that up real quick before we move on to the next one. Because the end of that was the difference or the transition. When did you know that it wasn't in the drink, right? When did you know that it was actually the connection, or
I didn't know that wasn't? It was almost 2.5 years later. And it was when I came back, when I was like, okay, I changed a really large aspect of my life because, in this connection, you're forced to change. Yeah. You just don't know why you're changing, or, you keep thinking to yourself, I can be better. I can be better. Mm-hmm. Because my biggest thing was, if I did see you again, would I be shut down because you could see into me? Or would I be somebody that you could see into and I wouldn't run? Right. But when I came back into it again, and then you could see some change in me, but you didn't know what the change was about, but you knew that there was still something about me that was off. Right. So that day when we were at Dave and Buster's and that rain and that kiss, I knew then this was something that was not of this world. I knew that this was something that it was probably in the world, but it was very, 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 very rare. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know what it was called. Yeah. And I didn't know that I wanted to know. I just wanted to be in it. And I think the biggest problem we all have, like if we would have found, the internet wasn't as big back then, but if we would have found what this was, we probably would have been just as lost as everybody else. Mm-hmm. But I decided to just be in the connection. And I think we both decided that. And even when we did finally get to a different space and then found out what it was, we were then shut down. It was like our internet would stop working when we tried to look up more. Yeah. So we got very fortunate. Yeah. Because I think connection had different plans for us. I believe we needed to understand that not only could we feel each other, you could taste what I was eating. I could smell what you were around. All of those things that happened to us, I believe came to life. Right. And and had an experience all to themselves that we didn't need anybody to tell us what it was.
Right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
We didn't need anybody to tell us who we were to one another. And it really starts with you listening, or not listening, but as much as feeling all of it all the way
All the
through
way
inside.
Yeah.
Because when you have to keep going to your head and keep looking for answers, you keep abandoning what you really feel.
Right.
Which is, of course, the number one cause of separation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I think, like I said, when that kiss that day, I knew. I was like, yeah, this is something I'm not going to have anywhere else, because I tried.
Yeah.
You try to force somebody to have a connection with you, or you try to go find the connection thereafter. The issue is, even when you're doing that, you're not connected to yourself still.
Right.
Because the only time you're going to give up trying to put that in somebody else is when you're finally connected to you.
Correct.
And you automatically will know where
for
you
sure.
reside.
For sure.
Does that make
Yeah, it makes perfect
okay?
sense. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I thought that was a good way of asking the question. I'll come back to
go back to the question. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
I was watching your video on your journey again this week for strength. The episode on Sherry suddenly being moved by the universe and finding herself jail away from Cameron and all for a long time. It happened to us last week suddenly, and I went into shock because the jails are places of crime, not rehabilitation. I'm crying nonstop because he has young children. Your videos helped me. You have been through so much. God bless you. Maybe you can answer to the topic of how we get things on top of the other. It doesn't end. Last year, I was dealing with trauma from narcissists, then chronic spine disorder. 1 year to recover. I'm just coming up to my best again, and I'm hit down. Oh, yeah.
Here's the interesting thing about what you just said about being hit down. Ooh, it sure feels like that. It really does. But situations like that, and me being away from my family, and the jails are the same. There's no rehabilitation.
But you started creating it while you were in it.
Right. Yeah.
Because
I did start some classes, and yeah, I took the connection with me.
Yeah.
We were in our heads so much that there had to be some sort of separation, or it was going to be disastrous. And the only way that we learned to communicate was not being able to communicate physically.
Yeah.
So we had to learn how to feel one another when you're not in the presence of that person.
And understand the feelings.
And understand what it,
understand
right.
The feelings, not understand. Because understanding was mind, understanding was feeling.
There were times when I actually went to sleep there and went right home and woke up the next morning there thinking, wait till he gets on the phone because there is laundry everywhere. He's been smoking in the house. I can smell it. There's dishes in the sink. Oh, so I would get on the phone. Hi, Gemma.
Nobody wants to hear you right now. This video is not for Gemma.
This video is not about dogs.
No. We'll deal with you.
We will
go lay down.
One.
Go.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'll get Cameron on.
It opened my mind up to being with him without being with him. And feeling him. That's the most important thing. If you stay in your mind, you're going to go out of your mind, which is probably what you need to do. Go out of your mind.
You need to lose your
mind. But the waiting is going to be the hardest part. Instead of, I have a whole different outlook on waiting now because of my transplant, but there's a reason for this separation, and it's not what he's there for. And perhaps he just needed to take care of some things that have happened down here or here, down here, up here. I don't know where we're at. And here. Uh-oh.
Sorry,
The dog.
Gemma. Yeah.
She does not want us to
No.
talk to you. She almost pulled the laptop.
I'm trying to get Gemma.
Clearly it's her dinner time.
Yeah.
And we are not honoring that or something, but we have to call down to the son to feed the dogs.
Right.
Take the time that you're away from him or her, I don't even know which one it was, and close your eyes and learn how to feel him. That is going to change your situation. Being up here too much, I have a whole analogy when it comes to heaven and hell and things, and I truly believe that it's where it lies, heaven and hell, right here. And believe me, I've been to both places. I prefer the peace and the bliss and the unconditional love and the connection and everything that goes with it. You can sit and worry about when are they coming home? How is this case gonna, how long are they gonna be away? Honestly, I would embrace it. As hard as that sounds, as hard as it may seem, acceptance is the key here. First of all, you can't change it anyway, right? Learn how to communicate with him on a spiritual level, and you'll never miss him.
Yeah.
You'll never miss him because he's always going to be there.
Yeah.
And no matter what, he's always going to be there. And
you have to make a choice.
Right.
The choice is waiting or connection. If you're in waiting, you're disconnected. If you're in connection, you're not waiting.
Right.
So you don't even see those as options, and you don't even see the energy that each one pulls. But if you're telling yourself you're waiting, or if you tell yourself you're in separation, if you tell yourself, you're basically saying I'm disconnected. You just don't see it that way, but you should. When she got taken away, when we both were sitting there, I made it so it was like we were fully connected, and I needed that connection to you to be able to be there for Cameron. So Cameron was able to connect to her through me. It was almost like I wasn't even missed.
Right.
Even he doesn't really recall feeling like he missed her, but he would say it. But then when I would hold him like she would, and literally he didn't. He said it's weird. It's like I can't remember her being gone. I'm like, it's because I made sure that you always felt her. And he went, oh, that makes sense. And I said, yeah. And he's like, huh? And I said, never mind. Just go with the feeling. Just go with the feeling. Because in connection, it's almost like we're not understanding the part, because our mind wants to tell us that their physical body is not there. Then that is required to be there for you to have connection. But even when they're there, you're not even seeing that your mind is still saying, no, we can't let them in close, because there's still all of these fighting. There's so much fight from thought and connection that you don't see. That thought it's not that I try to teach it. I'm trying to get you to see that you got to fall in love with it. Fall in love with your thinking, included in your connection. If you don't, you're creating your disconnect.
It even goes for, it's the same thing for if you're in physical separation because of other things too, everything else.
Yeah.
If they're married, or you're married, or they're seeing someone else, or you give up, or you both have moved on, gone your separate ways, and anything. If you're in physical separation, it's very much the same thing.
Yep.
It's very much the same thing.
Yeah.
Close your eyes and learn to connect with them on a different level because nobody else is on that level with them. That's the interesting thing. On this level we're on here, right? Lee has so many different people that he talks to, that talks to him, right? Me as well. We have, kids, family, clients, friends, all these voices, all these different people. And when we go to that other level, there's nobody else there but us, right? And I don't want to use the word competition, like when it comes to kids, friends, family, whatever. It's not competition for his attention, right? But, in another way, it kind of is, there's so much going on in the real world. If you can just learn how to evolve in your connection and take it to that other plane, that other level, that other dimension, right? No matter how you learn to do it, we can certainly teach you, but that's when you're there alone in the connection. That's where that's at. And that's not a physical place. So you can be separated all you want and not be physically together. There's still that special place you can go and be with them. And it's divine.
Very. And it's not, if you have divine and you have separated masculine and feminine, don't worry, you've separated masculine and feminine. So you're getting what you want. If you knew the power of putting them both together and not saying one without the other, you too would start to understand the depth of what she just said. You would feel it. And it's not something your mind is going to give you a concept in, because your mind
Your
itself
mind is going to tell you it's not possible.
is going to tell it, right. And it's going to tell you this based on your own disconnects, not theirs. It always wants to reflect what they're doing, but not pay attention to what behaviors you come from because of how you interpret what they're doing. Hopefully they gave you some insight, but
for those of you who are wondering, the dog is being fed.
She's done talking.
She's not. Uh-oh. Can you shut that?
Huh? Oh, this? Yeah. Okay. So I would love it. I don't know what is going on, but my DM has been feeling the earth vibrating lately and told me, and last night I laid next to him, how my body vibrated as he snuggled with me. Strange, in all probability. I'm not sure if anyone is experiencing this too. I love the two of you and would like a lot. So that happened last night. We felt that.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we were really hugged up like that, and I felt that for me. And then you started sweating.
We feel vibrations all of the time.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that it's the closer that you get,
the deeper
it
I
goes.
think is it the deeper, because sometimes it's peaceful and sometimes it's not.
Sometimes it's not.
But it's when you're in connection, and as you have now had, think about this. We have a new, how do I say this? We have a new person in our connection because of your liver transplant.
Right.
And there's been a change in our connection DNA wise.
Right.
Of accepting it's almost like we have a child but we don't have a child.
Right.
It's really surreal.
It's definitely interesting.
Because I've heard you talking to somebody while you're sleeping. You're literally talking to the person I think whose liver you have.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure what you're talking about, but you guys are talking about me. And I know you're talking about me because I know when somebody's talking about me.
Oh, okay.
No, my ear gets that loud pitch and it wakes me up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I have no idea. I'm in a dream state. But
well, you're talking to somebody.
Probably
so yes, I would say that happens.
Yeah,
it happened. I think
it's definitely not unusual.
No, it happened when we weren't together too.
It did,
but we were connected.
It's the vibrations, and then what, I don't want to use the term laser lights, but light shows come
Mm,
Light shows come
mm.
in a dream state. It's it opens up lots and lots of spiritual gifts if you allow the connection to.
I've seen that a lot in different people I've talked to over the last 30 days.
Mhm.
They don't even feel it. They don't, I can tell when I'm talking to them, I'm like, damn, I feel you're like a very powerful empath. And they're like, I am. And I'm like, wow. Because when you get disconnected from that when you're young, you don't realize what you're carrying. You don't
Right.
realize your gifts. Mm.
For sure. Anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully that answered your question. This one, Sherry, you can answer this first. What is connection? Is it possible to define what connection is?
Ooh, my definition of connection is Fudge, how do you what are you doing?
I am checking the scene.
When two pieces of a puzzle, for lack of better terms, fit together perfectly. And that is, it could be anything, right? Connection to me is a mindless space.
Mm.
A soul space. And it's hard to describe that because my definition of soul is, well, we are soul. That's who we are. We just have a body. Or it's just a soul with a body.
Mm.
And a connection, just like a plug goes into a wall and makes that electrical connection to make that lamp go or the radio go, or right?
Yeah.
That here we go, turn something on, but more than in a sexual way. It's I don't know what that is.
No, that's a new one.
Could be a game that I'm just lost, or
Or
a
it could be
tournament.
that face app that keeps downloading. I mean, she's just having wait. If you're not on her TikTok, you need to go watch her on TikTok. She's just doing crazy.
You probably
stuff.
shouldn't.
Right.
You probably should.
And she's on both. I mean, you're finding your peasants again.
You probably should. But connection to me is a mindless state. You can't have a brain in it.
Wow.
You can't use your brain in it.
No.
And I think we're really going to touch on that when you get done with this book, titled, by the way, God Doesn't Have a Brain.
I'm about 2 chapters in.
And a connection would be godlike. To summarize that, where you hear people say God is love, God is connection.
Yeah. Without the thought.
Without the thought. I feel like love has thought to it.
So my definition of connection is 2 vulnerable bodies of water that have contaminants in it, but they're connected. So that way you make sense of the thought, which is the contamination, but it doesn't, as long as you're vulnerable, it's see-through.
Oh.
This connection is trying to get you to be see-through. You just don't want it. Right. And especially since it's a feeling thing. Connection is all about feeling. Disconnection is all about thought. Right. So when I looked at that question and was sitting here going, okay, what is connection? I feel the strongest way to describe it is, how vulnerable water is, and you can add contaminants to it, but it doesn't change the fact that it's water. That would be connection. And when you have 2 bodies of water, they both can have different contaminants in it, but they still are going to be water together. So if nothing more, water is our greatest teacher for what connection is without thought. because
Without thought's the key.
without thought is the key. The thought's going to leave you up in the turbulent top part of the water,
Mhm.
but down deep, it's going to be peaceful and serene and connect,
Right.
even with the contaminants that are up on top. So if you really look at,
Dinner time's over here. Like,
here they all come, they all want something. I would say that
I'll say this.
a body of water will be, especially several bodies of water.
Mhm.
If they all connect, they're really trying, if you look, we're the only planet in our solar system that is water-based, and we're beings coming from that water.
Right.
And we're all supposed to connect like the water is, but we don't pay attention to our planet to actually connect back to our truth, which if you go back probably thousands of years when we first were human beings, we probably had connection and that's all there was. And the land would talk to us and we would talk to the land, and we'd be able to talk to each other without actually having communication of any kind of form of language. We just lost our way. Because you can't tell me this body that can do everything that's doing right now as we're all sitting here isn't meant to be connected to.
Mm.
That makes no sense at all. You know what I mean? Okay. So I think we have one more question.
One more question. Oh, on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, well, we had one in our community. So
Okay.
what if the person that you thought your twin, this is from Steph, what if the person you thought was your twin isn't, and now you feel a connection with someone else? Am I just crazy? I do not know how to trust myself or my feelings. I consider myself very intuitive. But if I can go from one man to another, am I wrong to think anything special at all? And maybe I'm just fantasizing. Ugh.
Let me
Wait. Ugh.
oh, for heaven's sake.
Come on, this is fun.
Let me say this real quick. Because I once had that very question in my mind, because I had, look, I wasn't a virgin when I met Lee. I was close to it, but I'd been married before twice. And I, did some dating. I been with other people. Oh my heavens, what are you doing?
No, I got it.
Okay.
I just had to get back to it.
So I am it's my belief system. It's mine. It doesn't have to be yours or anybody else's. It's my belief system. That you can have multiple soulmates. I've had a couple in my life. My very first boyfriend, I was very young, teenager actually. We were definitely soulmates. There's no way we could have had a long-term relationship in our adulthood. And I had a boyfriend who was a soulmate, actually. That would have been disastrous. You'll know the difference. It'll feel similar in some ways, but there's an added unshakable feeling when you meet your twin. It's unshakable. The soulmate thing, it takes time. But there's not devastation at the end of that road. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And there, the twin flame thing there, it's not necessarily devastating either if you can't withstand the shit that you have to go through. But don't beat yourself up for thinking that you've met your twin. You haven't met your twin. You're dating around trying to find your twin. Don't beat yourself up over that, and don't think, you know what, I'm never going to. Who am I to think that I can, or who am I to think that I should, or that I think that this person's this person. Until you find that connection, you're going to be looking for it in everybody that you meet, right? And the problem with us and our dating habits are this. We want to find it in everybody. We want to find it in everybody we date, and everybody we meet, and everybody we see, right? And when we don't, we make it a problem. That turns very beautiful relationships into disaster. It's a head thought, right? It's head, mind, mess. We've had soulmates. Lisa had soulmates. It's just the connection was different. I could not feel what my soulmates were feeling. I could think about what they might be feeling. I think I knew what they were feeling. I thought I knew what they were thinking. We had very similar thought processes. We had similar likes. We had similar hobbies. We had similar everything. We do not have similar hobbies. We do not. But that doesn't mean you and your twin won't have similar hobbies, right? Nobody's the same. But I feel what you're saying because I've been there. I didn't quite know what a twin flame was, but I knew that what I called it a big love. I knew that they weren't the big love. I called it a big love my whole life. I know that there's a big love out there. I know that my big love is out there. I don't know if I'll ever find him, but I know he's out there. Then I tried to make everybody him, and I didn't even know who he was. And thank God I didn't make anybody him.
I'm going to try to make sure that I say this in a way that you can feel it, not think about it. So I'm going to be as clear as I possibly can. She might need to translate. You just let us know in the messages here.
I'm translating again.
Okay. When you come into this world, you come from two people. You come from feminine energy and masculine energy. You're going to meet a connection that's going to carry both at a very high frequency and vibration. That will be a direct connection to you. When that direct connection happens to you, you will experience what could be known as a twin flame. But that doesn't mean you won't find, let's say you were raised by a single parent. That single parent energy was kind of in the place of two. So for you to receive love from two different energies was, one inside of the home and one outside of the home was not uncommon. So you could have a connection outside of the home. Get it? So once your mind believes that that is actually possible, it is possible to kind of mistake the person in front of you as one person you're connected to and another person outside of that, you're connected to them too. Now, what if you meet somebody who carries both of those energies in one frequency and they're coming at you? Your tendency will be to abandon you. So if you are abandoned by masculine energy outside the home, you're going to stick with the feminine energy that will always be there for you. And if one person carries that feminine energy stronger than the other, you're going to, you see what I'm saying? It's almost like you don't even see that the question has so many different variables and there's no real way to tell you the truth without being very clear about the truth. You came from two energies. If you came from masculine energy that was absent your whole life, you will have a strong connection to somebody, and the masculine has to be absent from your life. You will push that person away knowing they're your twin flame, and you will live your life telling yourself you met your twin flame and you ran away from them because you needed control over why your daddy left you. Trust me, we've seen it all, but everything always comes back to who you are as a child. If there's somebody who reflects this back to you in a very deep way, that child comes back to life. All of those feelings come back online. And next thing you know, you have a choice. You can go back to being hurt and disconnected from that child, or you can sit in that child and heal. One of those will tell you what a twin flame is. Can you guess which one? Was it simple?
I think so.
Okay.
Pretty proud of you for that, actually.
If you felt that, well, it was interesting because when she came up with root camp and I was reading, I started crying because I went, holy shit. Like I knew then that there was no denying it, because she asked how I felt about my mom, how I felt about my dad. She asked me those questions and I went, why does she want to know this? But it's interesting because I forced you on the side that I was comfortable with, not realizing I was doing that. And I was forced, and when I would leave, I was forcing you into the masculine role of a father who could be absent, which was the same thing you were wounded with. But we kept clashing when we tried to live together in masculine, because there was always the threat of the other person leaving. So you have to see that even what I'm
Yo, how
trying to
many
say
times have we
is
split up?
simple. It's
We
simple.
split up, what, 5 times?
Yeah, yeah. But even it doesn't matter how simple I get. There's always going to be that one person who sit there and sit in their head. And the more you try to understand it in your head, the further away you're going to get in connection. So what I'm trying to get you to see is there is a child in you. And if you're connected to that child and that child has a connection to the you inside of your pain, you'll know when you meet your twin flame, because you'll immediately try to disconnect from those two. And all right, I don't know, because they're going to hurt me, and you don't even realize you're hurt already.
And you're going to run, and then you're going to blame them for running.
Yep. That's the most beautiful thing. I have yet to meet somebody who's really running from their twin flame.
Right.
All right, if you believe 100% you are chasing your twin flame, you need to come talk to us, because I'm gonna show you something, and I promise you, you will have the answer to why you think you're chasing them, but you will have the answer to why you started running first. You don't see it, because like I said, there is a you on the inside that feels everything, and how are you connected to that in you? And that's where this confusion all comes into. I believe the reason why Sherry and I have been through everything we've been through is because we surrendered to letting connection be our teacher already. And we created this channel for that very reason. If you go deeper into that, which would mean sitting with us, it's because something in you said, wait a minute, you're not paying attention to how you feel. And these people get it. This connection is not about what you think, it is about what you feel. And it'll drive you nuts, because you'll sit there and go, I need to process that. You don't even see that you're saying, I need to disconnect from what I'm feeling, what you're saying, so I can be in my head about it, so I can find a way to still stay away from what I feel about it. You need to stop. You really need to stop. Stop yourself. You know what? I don't want to be in my head. What they're saying, I get it. I don't like the me in my head, but have I tried loving that part of me so I could have this connection? Yes, that's exactly what we're saying. We're not saying to get rid of your thinking, because you can't. The more you get in a fight with your thinking, the more disconnected you become. The more you fall in love with your thinking, the more you're allowed to be in your feelings. Which one do you want your twin to be with? You see what I'm saying? Which one? I want you to be with me while I stay in my head, baby.
Okay.
I'll be everything you want.
All right then.
And I'll be nothing to myself, because that's what thinking does.
Right.
Thinking makes sure that you abandon everything you feel for another person. That's called relationship, isn't it?
For sure. Yeah.
So
we've had that.
We tried.
We have tried.
You suck at relationships.
You suck at relationships.
What the hell?
For real. You
right.
Really do.
Yeah, well, you owe me something for that.
Oh, relationships? What do I owe you?
I'll talk about that later. This is a family show.
Okay.
All right. So hopefully those were all questions. That was kind of
awesome.
cool. Now, hopefully this resonates with you. If not, come talk to us. Hey, you know what? Do root camp. There are so many of you who watched root camp or listened and actually sat with me for 30 minutes, or sat with both of us if you've had the chance, and went, yeah, I need to do that. Then you go, oh, I don't think I can't invest in myself. I can't do that. And it's the funniest thing, because I watch you do it and I'm going, okay. Because for us to sit and do what we do, we can build that bridge for you to connect to yourself. We're going to ask you questions. We're not going to give you any answers. We're not your gurus. We're not. But what we are is connected. So we can tell you what connection teaches us. We can tell you what pain is teaching us in the connection. And what you are running from is that very space. And you can't see it because your thinking is too active.
Right. I do want to throw this out there before we go. I'm sure the majority of you know that I would not be here if it wasn't for organ donation, and April is Organ Donation Awareness Month. And look, here I said, because someone selflessly clicked a button on the computer or said yes at the DMV. You can't take it where you can take it with you, but why would you want it to lay in the ground or in an urn or in a drawer or however you plan on spending your eternity? When one life can save 8.
Oh.
So if it wasn't for organ donation, I literally would not be here. So I just ask you to think about it, go to your DMV and just go online, click online, donate life. And they'll register you right there. Right. There's common misconceptions on organ donation. Please go to Donate Life and read those. Most all religions are going to be pro organ donation. As a matter of fact, it's just a final act of gratitude. So there's no age limit. There is no age guidelines. You know, unfortunately, we lose children. Children save children. A child saved me. So please just go and register to be an organ donor.
You know what? What's beautiful about that? Your child saved me.
Yeah.
Man, I'm talking about the one inside of me. I don't know that I would be here without that child you have in me, because she loves me. The girl in your head, no, she's questionable, but the girl in that child in there, she loves me. She gives me kisses, and she holds me, and she makes me feel really special. And I'm telling you, she'd be alive because she loves me.
She pretty much does.
Yeah, connection to her is everything. So we love you guys.
We do.
And thank you guys for having us on today. And thank you for coming and joining us today. And hopefully we will see you all very soon. Again, if you go to the About, you can sign up for 30 minutes with us. If you've done it, you can do it again, just one more. And trust us, the one thing you need to start doing is start feeling again. You're running from a connection that's all about feeling. And if you have thoughts against those feelings, don't worry, you trained your twin to do the same thing to you. And that's kind of where you got to start, because there's more to you than you are letting yourself have. You are not what you think. You are what you feel. And if you feel a connection, then you are meant for connection. So stop trying to run from it. Stop trying to hide from it. This is understanding, not understanding.
Let's start learning how to get out of here and live from here.
Oof.
And if you need help doing that, look, we're here to help you personally, not in a general way like we do everybody else. It's a very personal program. It's just one-on-one, and it goes very deep, and you will learn how to come out of here and start living from here. It's what I'm still learning to do. We're all still learning. It's a work in progress. But I promise after this transplant and waking up and thinking, my gosh, I wasted 50 years of my life in my head. And worried about time. Time's the big thing that I was worried about, was time, especially when I was sick, right? I really knew that my time was limited. I knew that I wasn't going to be here much longer. So I started to use my time.
Stacy said, I'm a proud organ donor.
A little bit more productively.
I've had many family members tell me they don't agree with my decision. Well, you know what? We agree. We're family. We agree with your decision. Yes. We're soul family.
And thank you.
I'm sorry, but that means a lot.
And know in your soul that you will save lives.
And you might save somebody's connection. I know what happened for me. I'm just saying.
Thank you guys all for watching and for being here and for following us all these years and for sticking with us through so much. and watching these videos of our journey and thinking, how in the hell are they still sitting together?
Yeah. Don't
And-
forget, subscribe.
and,
Let's see. You know what? I'm really curious. Subscribe. Share some of these.
Share it.
Because
Yeah.
connection is the key.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
more you share connection, the more connection shares you.
It's been quite a journey, and really we've only just begun.
Yeah.
Really. We have
Hmm.
our connection's been brought down to death's door, losing one another physically, permanently. And
Yeah.
now it's no longer detrimental. And you know what, anything could happen at any day. So live life to the fullest. Forgive, be grateful, find your happiness, do what
Yeah.
you want to do. Don't listen to anybody else's criticism.
Hmm.
Do not fall into the drama of your everyday life situations, family drama, all that mess. Stay peaceful in your thoughts, peaceful in your soul.
And one last thing before we go. Believe you can be connected to.
Mhm.
Stop not believing it.
Mhm.
You're going to have to just at some point ask yourself, do I believe I can have connection? And if you hear no's in there, come to us. We'll help you heal that. And it's not really help as much as it is heal that. Help will never do anything that healing can do by itself. You don't need help to heal. You need heal to heal.
Mhm.
And trust us, we're sitting in connection in a way where healing is what we got.
For sure.
Yeah.
Find look, we're older. We understand, right? We're not young
Speak
chickens.
for yourself.
So
12.
find our TikTok channel, Twin Flames, Lee and Sherry.
We get right back to full on there.
We
We're gonna
just
post it.
started it yesterday. I don't even think we have one follower. I don't know, but we're gonna be doing some
Funny stuff.
some stuff,
Some teaching stuff
on there, and once we learn it completely and fully, we're gonna be all over that place. So we're gonna be doing some random videos and all kinds of crazy lives and all kinds of crazy stuff specifically over there too. So find our TikTok channel and then share it.
Yeah.
Share it with your people, and help us out on TikTok, because we don't know what the hell we're doing.
Yeah. And if you're interested, we are talking, I think at some point we're doing a connection workshop. Email if you're interested in that. I think it's going to be
connection workshop.
It's going to be relatively very, very small amount, but we're going to make sure that we come into Zoom and we connect and we show you what connection is.
If you're in Ohio, I believe, or close, I believe in June, our friend Kelly Bowman's going to have another Mind, Body, and Soul Expo.
We'll be speaking.
And I guess we're going to go in and speak. And
then we're doing One Love Humanity.
One Love Humanity.
We're going to be doing there's a summit that we're going to be doing for, of course, equal connection for all. It's going to be around race and around sexual orientation. It's going to be a very big thing, but we're supposed to be speaking at that as well.
Very cool.
We love you guys.
Yeah. If you're on Facebook, we're at Twin Flame Work Group.
Yes.
My Relationship Reinvented. You can find us in that group.
I think you can get Twin Flames Lee and Sherry on there, and that'll take you to it.
Okay. Yeah. Twin Flames Lee and Sherry. We're everywhere.
Yep.
Or where. Get your 30 minutes and Medea.
That's the way my mom used to say it.
Medea, probably. We watch too much Tyler Perry. If Tyler's watching, what's up? And we need to talk about the cast of a couple of shows, but we'll get on it. Other than that, hey guys, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being patient with me and my recovery and keeping Lee working and out of my hair. And
out of my hair.
And yeah, thank you so much for trusting in us and believing in us. And here we are.
Yeah, thank you guys very much. We love you.